It's time to dream again. Time for new adventures with old friends and your favorite films. And the time is now. Escape with us for 5 nights aboard the Disney Dream. Journey from Miami to Grand Cayman and Castaway Cay, Disney's private island paradise. A 2022 TCM Classic Cruise, November 12th through the 17th. Staterooms are available now. For more, visit tcmcruise.com or call 1-877-223-7030.
Welcome to TCM and more with our star of the month, Dana Andrews. I'm Alicia Malone, and tonight we are looking at films featuring Andrews in the late 1940s and 50s. And first up is one of the greatest performances of his career in a landmark war film directed by William Wyler. It's The Best Years of Our Lives from 1946. At this stage, Dana Andrews had proved his acting chops in the well-received war movie A Walk in the Sun from 1945, directed by Louis Milestone, and as a result of that and several solid performances in other films, including Laura from 1944, Samuel Goldwyn signed him to a new and better contract. But since Andrews had mainly gained notice for movies where he was loaned out to 20th Century Fox, Goldwyn decided he wanted him in a prestige picture at his own studio. And so Dana Andrews stars here as Fred Derry, one of 3 soldiers struggling to fit in with their old lives after returning from the war. The other 2 soldiers are played by Frederick March and newcomer Harold Russell, a real soldier who had lost his hands in an accident. And the cast also includes Teresa Wright, Myrna Loy, Virginia Mayo, and Hoagie Carmichael. The last film William Wyler had seen Dana Andrews in was his own, The Westerner from 1940, because not long after that, Wyler had left to serve in the war, and this film marked his return to narrative filmmaking in Hollywood. As Andrews recounted, Wyler hadn't really wanted him, but on their first day of shooting had called him over and said, "What happened to you? You're a very good actor." Andrews laughed and said, "Willie, thank you very much, but I've made 20 pictures since I first saw you. Why, if I hadn't improved somewhat, I'd be a pretty stupid actor." From 1946, here is The Best Years of Our Lives. Dana Andrews was impressive in The Best Years of Our Lives and had also starred in several war films during World War II, doing his best to promote the war effort from home. Andrews himself had been exempt from being drafted due to the fact that he was the sole provider for his family. On set, Andrews and director William Wyler got along well, with Andrews gaining a new appreciation for the way Wyler worked. As he wrote in his journal, he realised that Wyler's multiple takes were more about wanting to see what could develop, what kind of special magic might appear, and that he was collaborative, not rigidly stuck in one idea of doing a scene. And after this film, Dana Andrews' career went into hyperdrive, making 9 more films before the decade was out. And next on TCM, we'll jump ahead to the mid-1950s for a drama starring Dana Andrews with Elizabeth Taylor and Peter Finch.
I suppose you're wondering what I'm doing working in a place like the Kit Kat Club.
Well, it is a rather unusual place.
Don't miss the 50th anniversary of Cabaret in select cinemas July 17th and 20th, featuring exclusive insights from TCM. For more information, go to fathomevents.com.
When director Stanley Kubrick started pre-production on 2001, he envisioned the monolith as a transparent tetrahedron. In other words, just a clear pyramid. And fans of the movie know that's far from what made it into the final picture. Production manager Tony Masters began his search by visiting an actual plexiglass convention in London. Yes, apparently that's a real thing. Well, Tony found a gentleman capable of building a gigantic plexiglass prop. but he assures Tony not in the shape of a pyramid for engineering concerns. So, for overall simplicity, the two agree on the object taking the shape of an, wait for it, ordinary pack of cigarettes. Kubrick hates it. Tony thinks fast and asks, what if we paint it all black? Maybe no one will know what it is. Kubrick thinks it over, and Kubrick agrees. So Tony Masters starts a massive assembly line of monoliths, trying different types of woods until they found a winner. Then they experimented with mixing graphite and matte black paint, and after many coats, they finally achieved that distinctive luster that we all know and love from the movie today.
I just thought she was the most amazing creature ever.
Everybody wants to be in the moment.
You definitely need a fierce armor to give you that courage.
It's very intimate, and it's scary.
People don't want constraints. They don't want to be held back.
The minute you show too much, you're showing too much.
When she starts becoming a prostitute, now we start seeing her in leather.
We're the creators of personality.
Who does this person think they are?
You're tearing me apart!
That's always like, ooh, he's a bad guy.
The minute you see somebody dressed head to foot in white, there's going to be blood.
What does a fashion designer do?
I'm the boss. I'm in charge.
Dress up. Dress up.
It doesn't get much more couture than that.
TCM expertly reframes wine from a box. From deeply focused winemakers around the world to exclusive movie bottles delivered to your doorstep. The TCM Wine Club curates each case, pairing incredible wines with great classic movies seen on TCM. Every bottle tells a story. Join now and receive 15 wines, including 3 classic movie wines for one incredible value. Visit TCMWineClub.com or call 1-844-WINE-TCM.
Hello, I'm Alicia Malone, and this is TCM, where we are watching movies from the 1940s and 50s featuring our star of the month, Dana Andrews. After becoming a success in the 1940s with films like Laura and The Best Years of Our Lives, which we just showed, by the mid-50s, Andrews wasn't getting the kind of meaty lead roles he wanted. So our next film, a lavish Technicolor Paramount drama set in the foreign lands of Ceylon, now known as Sri Lanka, seemed like a good choice. From 1954, the movie is Elephant Walk, directed by William Dieterle. Paramount certainly put a huge budget behind this film and had to pour more money in when their original lead needed to be replaced. The story comes from a novel by Robert Standish and has been compared to Rebecca in that it's about a charismatic heir named John Wiley who marries an English woman, Ruth, while on a trip, and she has no idea what she's in for when she arrives with him to his impressive estate, here a tea plantation in Ceylon, with a mansion or bungalow built on an old elephant trail. There's also a presence that hangs over the house, John's father, who is dead but certainly not gone. Initially, producer Irving Asher wanted Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh to play John and Ruth, but when Olivier said no, his protege Peter Finch was cast alongside Leigh. And Dana Andrews was selected to play a handsome worker on the estate who takes a liking to Ruth. But once filming began, it was obvious that Vivien Leigh's mental health had deteriorated to the point where she wouldn't be able to complete the shoot. She was disorientated, saying lines of dialogue from A Streetcar Named Desire and calling Finch Larry. Olivier flew to the set to try and help, but in the end, Leigh was sent home to recuperate. Paramount Pictures couldn't afford to wait, so Elizabeth Taylor was called in, borrowed from MGM at a huge expense, but she did a good job. With lovely, though obvious, rear projection shots filmed in Sri Lanka and several well-trained elephants, this is Elephant Walk.